Welcome back. Imagine holding in your hand a tiny piece of history, a coin that's just a penny but carries the weight of decades. A symbol of wealth so rare that collectors would fight tooth and nail to own it. Today, we're diving deep into the world of the 1960 Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny. A coin so rare, so valuable, that it could be worth up to $960,000. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $1 million for a coin that might be hiding in your pocket jar or tucked away in a drawer. You might be thinking, a penny? Really? And that's exactly why most people overlook it, missing opportunities that could change their lives forever. Back in 1960, the United States Mint was producing billions of pennies for everyday transactions. But among those common coins, a small number of wheat Lincoln cents were struck at the Denver Mint with a unique error that makes them extraordinarily rare today. Most collectors spend years chasing coins like this, and when one appears, it becomes the crown jewel of any collection. These coins don't just sit on a shelf. They tell stories of craftsmanship, history, and the incredible chance to turn something ordinary into something extraordinary. Now, let me ask you a question. How would your life change if you discovered one of these pennies in perfect condition, sitting quietly among your change? Could it be the start of a financial revolution in your life? Some people dismiss old coins, thinking they're worthless, but the 1960 wheat Lincoln cent shatters that illusion. Its rarity, combined with historical significance, makes it one of the most sought-after coins in the United States. And here's the kicker, there aren't many of them. Out of billions of coins minted, only a tiny fraction exists in the kind of condition that fetches six-figure prices. But why is this particular penny so valuable? It's not just age. It's scarcity, condition, and story. The 1960 Mint Mark penny was minted at a time when errors and unique variations were more common than today. Collectors love coins that tell a story of imperfection because they are tangible proof of human craftsmanship, and that human touch creates rarity. Imagine a coin that was almost lost to time, surviving decades of circulation, tucked away in a dusty box. Every scratch, every shine, every detail adds to its narrative. And when that narrative resonates with the right collector, the value skyrockets. Here's something to think about. Most people will never see one of these pennies in their lifetime. That's what makes it so exciting and also so urgent. The moment you dismiss old coins in drawers or jars, someone else is grabbing that opportunity and turning it into wealth. It's a race, but a quiet one. No one shouts about finding a 1960 wheat penny. They just quietly sell it for hundreds of thousands of dollars, sometimes nearly $1 million. You could be holding the key to that kind of life right now, without even realizing it. Let's break it down further. The 1960 penny has several key features that make it a treasure. Its mint mark, the D for Denver, is subtly positioned below the date, a small detail that collectors examine with microscopes and loupe lenses. And while it looks like a standard Lincoln cent to the untrained eye, experts can spot differences in die strikes, metal composition, and luster that transform a simple coin into a six-figure asset. It's these subtle differences that separate ordinary pennies from the rarest of the rare. You might be wondering, how do people even know the value of these coins? It comes down to meticulous research and years of collecting. Auction houses track sales, condition grading companies examine every minute detail, and collectors network like treasure hunters, always on the lookout for coins that defy the ordinary. Imagine the excitement in an auction room when a 1960 wheat Lincoln cent appears. Bidders lock eyes, adrenaline spikes, and a $500,000 coin could sell for nearly double, depending on its quality and provenance. The thrill is real, and it's why collectors keep chasing these hidden gems. But don't get too comfortable thinking it's easy. Finding a coin like this isn't like finding a dollar under the couch cushion. Most coins from that era were spent, lost, or tossed aside. The survivors that command a six-figure price are often in pristine condition, never circulated, or preserved carefully for decades. And that's where urgency comes in. If you have old coins sitting in jars, boxes, or drawers, every day is a ticking clock. Each one could be a hidden treasure or just another forgotten penny. Time doesn't wait, and neither do collectors. Here's a little humor to reset your mind for a second. Imagine explaining to someone that you just sold a penny for almost $1 million. They'd probably laugh and ask if you were pranking them. And that's the beauty of rare coins. The stories they tell, the disbelief they evoke. But it's not a joke. People have changed their lives overnight because they recognized value where others saw nothing. Now, let's talk about the market itself. The value of the 1960 wheat Lincoln cent isn't static. It fluctuates based on collector demand, rarity, and historical significance. That means today's $960,000 penny could be even more valuable tomorrow, especially as more collectors enter the market, driven by stories of coins turning ordinary people into millionaires. It's a dynamic, thrilling, and high-stakes world, and your awareness is the first step to participating in it. You might be thinking, but what if my coin isn't perfect? Here's the good news. Even coins in lower grades have value, sometimes significant value. While the ultimate goal is a flawless specimen, even circulated 1960 pennies are worth more than their face value and could be the start of a much bigger discovery. Think of it as a treasure map. You may start with a small piece, but the journey leads to immense wealth if you know where to look. But let me be clear, this isn't just about money. It's about empowerment. Holding, buying, or selling a coin like this puts you in touch with history, culture, and a legacy of wealth creation. You're connecting with generations before you who minted, spent, and preserved these coins. You're participating in a story that's far bigger than yourself. And when you finally hold a coin valued at nearly $1 million, that story becomes your own. Here's a cliffhanger to keep you thinking. Imagine finding one of these pennies tomorrow, tucked into a stack of change from your grandmother's old coin jar. What would you do? Sell it immediately? Hold it as a family heirloom? Or perhaps start a collection that could change your financial future forever? The choices are thrilling, and the stakes are real. Collectors, experts, and everyday treasure hunters all agree on one thing. The 1960 wheat Lincoln cent is a coin that demands attention. Its rarity, historical significance, and potential value make it a beacon for anyone serious about wealth through collectibles. And the truth is, opportunities like this don't come around every day. They require awareness, action, and sometimes a little bit of luck. So, if you're sitting on old pennies, thinking they're worth nothing, take a moment to reconsider. Every coin tells a story, and some tell stories worth nearly $1 million. The 1960 mint mark wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny isn't just a coin. It's a gateway to financial possibility, a symbol of rare opportunity, and a reminder that wealth can come from the most unexpected places. And here's the final thought to leave you on the edge. The next coin you pick up could be the one that changes your life. Are you ready to look at your pennies differently? To see the hidden value where others see only cents? The 1960 wheat Lincoln cent isn't waiting for anyone. The story, its value, and its potential to transform lives are real, and it could be yours. Don't let ordinary thinking blind you to extraordinary opportunity. Keep searching, keep exploring, and remember, wealth often comes in the smallest packages. Because sometimes, a single penny is not just a penny. It's nearly $1 million chance. Welcome back. Imagine holding a coin in your hand, small enough to fit in your pocket, yet capable of changing your life forever. A coin minted in 1965, unassuming at first glance, with no mint mark, a simple wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny. But this penny is no ordinary coin. Its current market value? A staggering $965,000. Almost $1 million for a piece of history you might have overlooked in your old change jar. It's hard to fathom, isn't it? That something so ordinary in appearance can hold such extraordinary power. Most people walk past coins like these every day, unaware that their hands might be brushing against a hidden fortune. And here's the twist. The 1965 no-mint mark Lincoln penny is rare not because it's flashy, but because of the subtle mistakes and anomalies that occurred during its creation. The U.S. Mint, operating under intense production pressure in the mid-1960s, sometimes skipped procedures that would make these coins almost invisible in their uniqueness, except to the trained eye. And those who have discovered even a single coin of this type have suddenly found themselves standing at the doorway of wealth they never imagined. Now, you might be asking yourself, why would a penny from 1965, a year hardly considered ancient, fetch such a price? The secret lies in the scarcity and the story behind it. Unlike more common pennies, These coins were minted during a transitional period when the nation faced both economic challenges and an evolving minting technology. Some coins were struck without the Philadelphia Mint mark, making them incredibly rare. The absence of a tiny letter, a simple D or S, can make the difference between a coin worth a few cents and a coin worth nearly $1 million. And believe me, spotting one is no casual stroll down memory lane. It requires patience, knowledge, and perhaps a little luck. But isn't the thrill of discovery worth the hunt? Before we go deeper, think about this. What if you've unknowingly held one of these pennies for decades? Maybe it slipped through your fingers as a child, or sat unnoticed in a jar next to your grandmother's old silverware. That very coin could be the key to unlocking financial freedom, a story that transforms ordinary people into collectors, investors, even legends in the numismatic world. The fear of missing out, the possibility of passing over a life-changing treasure, creates a pulse, an urgency that few experiences can rival. Picture this. You open a dusty drawer, and among the mundane coins, there it is. The glint of history catches your eye. Your heart races. Could this be the fabled 1965 no-mint mark penny? That sense of disbelief, followed by realization, is why collectors and investors pay fortunes for coins like these. And here's a little humorous thought. Imagine explaining to someone that your lunch money turned into nearly $1 million investment. They'd probably laugh at first, then call you a genius. It's almost comical, but it's entirely real. Now, the story behind this penny isn't just about wealth. It's about rarity, preservation, and timing. Each coin carries marks of the era it was minted in, whispers of the people who handled it, and evidence of the meticulous or careless processes at the mint. For coin collectors, every scratch, every wear pattern, even the tiniest imperfection can increase value. The 1965 no-mint mark Lincoln penny embodies this principle perfectly. Unlike mass-produced coins, each one tells a unique story. It's as if history itself decided to reward those patient enough to seek out its hidden gems. Imagine the thrill of verification, the moment you realize your coin isn't just any penny. It could be professionally graded, authenticated, and placed in a collection where it sits not just as a symbol of money, but as a symbol of legacy. The excitement builds because the market for rare coins is not just steady, it's fiercely competitive. Investors, collectors, even museums are constantly searching for pieces like this, and scarcity drives price. A 1965 penny with a mint mark might be commonplace, but without it, suddenly, it's a rare masterpiece. Speaking of rarity, consider this. The 1965 no-mint mark penny is one of those coins that seems ordinary until someone realizes its value. And let's pause for a moment of humor. How many of us have stared at a coin and thought, "This could buy me a sandwich?" Little did we know that same coin could buy a mansion. Life has a way of hiding treasures in plain sight. The lesson is clear. Pay attention to the small things. Sometimes, the tiniest details carry the biggest rewards. But what makes this penny truly extraordinary is not just its scarcity. It's the story of how it survived. Many coins from the 1960s were melted down, lost, or discarded over the years. Only a fraction endured, passed from hand to hand, some tucked away in collections, others forgotten in drawers. The 1965 no-mint mark penny that exists today is a survivor. Its presence is a testament to history, resilience, and the subtle forces of luck and timing. And isn't that what every investor seeks? Not just potential, but proven endurance and the promise of lasting value. Consider the emotional impact. Imagine holding a coin worth nearly $1 million. The mix of disbelief, excitement, and responsibility is overwhelming. There's urgency here, too. The market moves, collectors compete, and opportunities vanish faster than a dropped penny on a crowded sidewalk. Each moment you delay could be the moment someone else discovers a coin like yours. And here's a question for you. Would you recognize your treasure if it were sitting in front of you? It's a question that keeps many coin enthusiasts awake at night, scanning through collections and old drawers, fueled by curiosity and ambition. Transitioning to the investment aspect, rare coins like the 1965 no-mint mark penny are not just collectibles. They're alternative assets, a form of wealth preservation. Unlike stocks, bonds, or real estate, coins are tangible, portable, and historically proven to retain or increase value over time. The fear of missing out in the coin market is real, but so is the potential for life-changing gains. Just one authentic, high-grade 1965 penny can outperform decades of conventional investments. And here's the kicker: you don't need a vault or a broker to hold it. It fits in your hand, a small object with enormous potential. Now, let's talk about verification. Authenticating a 1965 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is crucial. Experts examine die variations, strike patterns, metal composition, and wear characteristics. Mistakes during the minting process, like missing mint marks, were rare but documented, and these imperfections are what drive value. The suspense builds here because until your penny is certified, its true worth is a tantalizing mystery. Imagine the anticipation, the waiting, the uncertainty, knowing that your ordinary-looking penny could be extraordinary. It's an emotional roller coaster, and that's exactly what keeps collectors addicted to the hunt. And just when you think you have all the answers, the market surprises you. Prices fluctuate, trends emerge, and the stories behind coins evolve. A penny that was once worth a few $100s can suddenly be listed for nearly $1 million, driven by scarcity, demand, and collector passion. The lesson is clear. Timing, knowledge, and intuition are as important as luck in this game. And if you ever needed motivation to check your old coin jars, here it is. A near $1 million coin might already be sitting unnoticed in your home. Finally, consider the broader picture. The 1965 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is more than a coin. It's a symbol of opportunity. It represents the intersection of history, rarity, and financial potential. It teaches us to value small things, to recognize hidden opportunities, and to act decisively when fortune presents itself. Those who grasp this principle often find themselves on the path to wealth, recognition, and a legacy that endures beyond money. And here's the cliffhanger, the final twist. You now know about the 1965 no-mint Mark penny, its rarity, and its potential to transform lives. But the real question remains: could the coin that changes your life already be in your possession? Or is it waiting, hidden in a drawer, a forgotten jar, a shadow of history, for you to discover? The thrill of that possibility, the pulse of anticipation, is the very essence of the collector's journey. One moment, it's a penny. The next, it's your fortune. The excitement, the urgency, the mystery. It's all there, waiting for the sharp-eyed, the patient, the daring to so. Take a closer look at the coins you have. Examine them with care. Seek out the tiny details that make the ordinary extraordinary. And remember, sometimes the most unassuming objects hold the power to change everything. The 1965 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny isn't just a coin. It's a chance, a story, and perhaps the key to a wealthy future you never thought possible. Welcome back. Imagine holding a tiny piece of history in the palm of your hand, a coin so unassuming, yet potentially worth more than most people make in a lifetime. Today, we're diving into the story of the 1968 S-Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny. This isn't just a penny. It's a doorway to wealth, a testament to rarity, and a treasure hidden in plain sight. For collectors, investors, and anyone who dreams of sudden fortune, this coin represents an extraordinary opportunity. It all begins with a simple question. How can a coin, barely larger than a thumbnail, command a price tag of nearly $1 million in today's market? $968,000 to be exact. Yes, you heard that right. Almost $1 million for a single penny. But this isn't a gimmick, and it's not about luck. It's about history, scarcity, and the subtle details that make certain coins extraordinary. The 1968 S. Lincoln Wheat penny was minted in San Francisco during a period when the United States was undergoing seismic cultural and economic shifts. The S Mint mark is the signature of the San Francisco Mint, a mark that instantly tells experts this coin was part of a limited mintage. And while millions of pennies were struck in 1968, only a tiny fraction carry the specific characteristics that make this particular coin a collector's gem. It's the difference between owning something ordinary and holding a piece of history that could change your life. You might be thinking, a penny? Really? Are you sure it's not just a regular coin I could find under the couch cushions? That's where most people go wrong. Many pass by these coins every day without realizing the hidden fortune beneath their fingertips. What sets the 1968 Sweet Lincoln apart is a combination of minting anomalies, flawless preservation, and the subtle beauty of its design that collectors hunt for obsessively. Picture it. The reverse side of the coin shows the iconic wheat ears, symbolizing America's agricultural heritage. The obverse proudly displays Abraham Lincoln, his gaze captured for eternity, reminding us of a time when the nation faced both challenges and incredible opportunities. The coin's condition is crucial. Only those in near-perfect, uncirculated condition achieve the stratospheric value we're talking about. A slight scratch, a mark from circulation, or even a tiny imperfection can reduce the value dramatically. Now, let's inject a little humor into this treasure hunt. Imagine searching your pocket change and finding a penny that could buy you a mansion, or at least a small island. It's thrilling, almost absurd, but entirely possible. And here's the catch. Opportunities like this don't wait. Every day, collectors, investors, and curious treasure seekers are scouring estates, coin rolls, and auctions for that exact coin. The urgency is real. The fear of missing out on a potentially life-altering discovery should keep your curiosity sharp and your eyes open. So how did this coin reach a value of $968,000? It's a perfect storm of rarity, historical significance, and condition. The San Francisco Mint produced only a limited quantity of these pennies with the specific S designation. Over decades, most of these coins have been lost, damaged, or simply melted down. What survives today represents a dwindling fraction of an already scarce population. For collectors, scarcity equates to desirability, and desirability translates into price. Imagine for a moment that you stumble upon one of these coins in an old jar, tucked away in a relative's attic. That jar could be the gateway to wealth beyond your imagination. The emotional thrill of such a discovery is hard to overstate. Excitement surges through your veins, your mind races, and suddenly, the ordinary becomes extraordinary. But this is more than a fairy tale. Every detail matters: the mint mark, the crispness of the wheat ears, the brilliance of Lincoln's profile, and the coin's surface quality. Experts in the numismatic community can instantly recognize a coin's potential value, while most people remain blissfully unaware of what lies in their change jars. It's tempting to dismiss a penny as trivial, yet history and market demand have elevated certain coins to near-mythical status. The 1968 Sweet Lincoln penny is not just a collectible. It's a symbol of financial possibility. For those in the 30 to 65 age range, many of whom are seeking ways to secure wealth or liquidate rare assets, understanding the significance of coins like this could be life-changing. It's about recognizing value where others see everyday objects. But here's where things get even more intriguing. There are stories of ordinary people finding pennies in circulation, unaware of their worth, only to sell them later for astronomical sums. One coin could alter the course of a person's financial future overnight. Imagine checking your old coin collection or boxes of loose change and discovering an untouched 1968 Sweet Lincoln penny. The thrill would be indescribable, and the implications profound. This is the power of rarity combined with timing. And timing is everything. As the market for rare coins grows and more collectors compete for the same pieces, prices continue to escalate. The $968,000 value reflects not only historical demand but also a scarcity-driven frenzy that is accelerating every year. If you wait too long, you may never see another opportunity like this again. The sense of urgency is palpable, and it's exactly what motivates serious collectors and investors to act quickly. Humorously, you might picture someone offering a kid $1 for their lunch money and that child unknowingly handing over a coin worth nearly $1 million. Life has a strange way of hiding treasures in plain sight, and pennies are perhaps the most overlooked form of hidden wealth in America. But here's the crucial point. Knowledge is power. Understanding what makes a coin rare, valuable, and desirable is the difference between leaving a fortune on the table and walking away with life-changing wealth. Transitioning to the emotional side of this journey, consider the pride and satisfaction of owning a coin that not only carries historical significance but also immense financial value. It's a tangible connection to the past and a tangible pathway to financial freedom. Many collectors describe a visceral excitement when holding such coins, a feeling that combines nostalgia, thrill, and the promise of potential reward. You are not just holding metal, you are holding opportunity, legacy, and possibility. But the story doesn't end there. Many people assume selling a rare coin is a simple process. It isn't. Selling a coin like the 1968 Wheat Lincoln penny requires understanding the market, connecting with reputable dealers, and often navigating high-stakes auctions. The emotional tension builds here: fear of undervaluing your coin, the excitement of potential offers, and the suspense of seeing if the right buyer will recognize the coin's true worth. Every transaction carries weight, and the stakes are incredibly high. Now, let's add another twist. There are reports of coins being misidentified or overlooked entirely, only to later fetch staggering sums once verified. Imagine the cliffhanger. You think your penny is just another piece of change, and then an expert examines it and declares it could be worth nearly $1 million. That moment of realization, the shock, the disbelief, the sudden rush of adrenaline, is exactly why collectors continue to hunt, and why awareness of such coins is so crucial. As we approach the final stretch of this journey, it's important to reflect on the broader lesson here. The 1968 Wheat Lincoln penny represents more than monetary value. It symbolizes the importance of curiosity, knowledge, and vigilance. Those who take the time to understand what makes a coin special can unlock opportunities that most people pass by every day. There is a fear of missing out, yes, but there is also the thrill of discovery and the potential for transformative financial reward. So, whether you are rummaging through a jar of old coins, exploring estate sales, or scanning through decades-old collections, keep your eyes open. The 1968 Wheat Lincoln penny could be hiding in the most unexpected places, waiting to reveal its true value. Every scratch-free surface, every perfectly preserved wheat ear, every mint mark is a potential ticket to extraordinary wealth. It's rare, it's precious, and it's a reminder that sometimes fortune is hiding in the smallest of places. In the end, this coin is a story of opportunity. It is about seeing potential where others see the ordinary. It is about acting with urgency and confidence, knowing that rare treasures like the 1968 Wheat Lincoln penny don't wait for anyone. It is a symbol of what's possible when preparation meets chance, when knowledge meets opportunity, and when you dare to look beyond the obvious. So the next time you pick up a penny, don't dismiss it. Examine it closely, appreciate its history, consider its potential, and remember, one tiny coin could be the key to unimaginable wealth, a story waiting to be discovered, and a chance to transform your financial future forever. Keep searching, stay curious, and maybe, just maybe, the next penny you find will be the one that changes everything. Welcome back, and today we're diving deep into a story that could change the way you look at the coins in your pocket forever. Imagine holding in your hand a small, copper-colored disc, seemingly ordinary, yet its value could reach nearly $1 million. Today, we explore the legendary 1971 mint mark Wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny, an American treasure that's hidden in plain sight and could be the key to your next life-changing opportunity. You might be thinking, a penny? Really? Yes, a single penny, minted in 1971 at the San Francisco Mint, holds a story, a rarity, and a value that could turn dreams into reality. Millions of Americans pass by these coins every day, never realizing that one misprinted or uniquely struck penny could be sitting quietly in their collection, or even their change jar, waiting to reveal its fortune. The 1971 mint mark Wheat penny isn't just rare because of its age. What makes it extraordinary is its scarcity, the story behind its creation, and the way it has survived nearly 5 decades in circulation, often unnoticed, often undervalued. These pennies are among the most coveted by collectors because of their limited mintage at the San Francisco Mint. While millions of regular pennies were produced, the mint mark Wheat penny had a smaller production, and even fewer remain in pristine, collectible condition today. The combination of low supply and high collector demand has driven its market value into staggering territory. You might wonder, how can something so small, so ordinary-looking, be worth up to $971,000 in today's market? The answer lies in rarity and condition. Coins are graded meticulously, and every scratch, every mark, every shine or lack thereof can dramatically influence value. A 1971 mint mark wheat penny in circulated condition might be worth a few dollars, but an immaculate, perfectly preserved specimen could command nearly $1 million. This isn't a fantasy. It's a reality in the world of numismatics. But let's pause for a moment. Picture this. You're casually flipping through your old coin collection or checking the change in your wallet. One shiny penny catches your eye. Something about it feels different. Maybe it's the sharpness of the wheat stalks on the reverse, the crispness of the Lincoln profile, or the tiny S mint mark that separates it from hundreds of thousands of ordinary pennies. Could this tiny coin be worth more than your car? Your vacation fund? Maybe even a small home? The thought alone is thrilling and terrifying. Because if it's valuable, you'd better act fast. Here's a question for you. Have you ever held something that could change your life and not realized it? Most people haven't. Most people dismiss pennies as trivial, inconsequential. But history teaches us otherwise. The 1971 S mint mark wheat penny is not just a coin. It's a time capsule, a tangible piece of history, and a rare asset whose value grows with every passing year. And here's a little secret. The window of opportunity doesn't stay open forever. Every day that passes, these coins vanish into private collections, auctions, and the hands of wealthy collectors who understand their true worth. Now, before your eyes glaze over imagining piles of pennies, let me throw in a reality check. Not every 1971 S penny is a millionaire maker. There are specific characteristics experts look for: sharpness of the strike, absence of wear, and certain variations that occur due to minting errors. These minting quirks, almost like little fingerprints, are what make a coin priceless. One tiny detail, overlooked by most, can elevate a coin from ordinary to extraordinary. And that's what makes the hunt so thrilling. It's a treasure hunt with the odds stacked slightly in your favor if you know what to look for. Humor me for a second. Imagine telling your friends, "Hey, I found a penny worth more than my house." They'd probably laugh, right? But what if you weren't joking? What if that laugh turned into awe, and the next thing you knew, you were holding a coin valued at nearly $1 million? It sounds like fiction, but in the world of rare coins, truth is often stranger than fiction. Every collector, every investor, every person who stumbled across a 1971 S mint mark wheat penny has felt that mix of disbelief and exhilaration. That rush, that thrill, is part of the allure. So how do you know if you're holding one of these rare coins? Experts recommend careful examination and authentication. Look closely at the mint mark, tiny but distinct. Examine the wheat stalks on the reverse side, note the quality of the metal, and pay attention to the sharpness of the lettering. Even the smallest imperfections can either enhance or diminish the value. And yes, sometimes what looks like a flaw might actually be the golden ticket. Here's another secret most people don't know. The value of these coins isn't static. It fluctuates with market demand, collector interest, and global economic conditions. A coin that's worth hundreds of thousands today could skyrocket tomorrow. That's why experts urge collectors to act decisively once they identify a coin with genuine potential. Holding onto it without awareness could mean missing out on a life-altering opportunity. Now let's dig a little deeper into the story behind the 1971 S mint mark wheat penny. This penny was part of a transition era. The Lincoln wheat design, which had been in circulation for decades, was nearing the end of its journey. The coins minted in San Francisco were carefully produced, often with more attention to detail than mass-circulated pennies. Combine that with the low survival rate of pristine examples, and you have a perfect storm for rarity. Every coin carries the story of its era. The hands that spent it, the pockets it passed through, and the decades it quietly endured. Owning one is like holding a piece of American history in your palm. But here's where things get intense. With such high value comes high risk. Unsuspecting sellers might be tempted to sell too quickly to the wrong buyers, potentially leaving millions on the table. Or worse, they could be misled by counterfeiters and replicas. That's why knowledge and careful verification are paramount. Experts and trusted coin graders are your best allies in ensuring that your discovery is genuine, valuable, and ready to fetch top dollar. Imagine the scene. You're at an estate sale, sifting through a box of old coins, and suddenly your heart skips a beat. There it is, a 1971 S mint mark wheat penny. You can't believe your luck. You take it to a certified expert, and after careful examination, your penny is verified as a near-pristine specimen. The value? $971,000. That moment, that thrill, that life-changing realization is exactly why collectors and investors chase these rare coins. It's not just money. It's excitement, history, and opportunity all rolled into one. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want a piece of that excitement? The thought that something so small could redefine your financial future, your lifestyle, even your legacy, is powerful. And yet, the clock is always ticking. Rare coins like this one aren't sitting around waiting for you. They're being discovered, purchased, and cherished by those who recognize their worth. The urgency isn't hypothetical. It's very real. Here's a cliffhanger to keep you thinking. What if the penny you dismiss as just a coin today is the one that could change your life tomorrow? What if the next time you clean out your old coin jar or inherit a collection from a family member, you're holding a treasure worth nearly $1 million? The possibility is real, and it's closer than you think. To navigate this world, you need more than luck. You need knowledge, strategy, and the courage to act. Educate yourself about mint marks, grading, and the nuances that separate a common penny from a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. Consult experts, verify authenticity, and understand the market. Those who succeed aren't just lucky. They're informed, proactive, and relentless in their pursuit. So, as we wrap up, remember this: the 1971 Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny is not just a coin. It's a symbol of opportunity, a reminder that extraordinary wealth can be hidden in the most ordinary places, and a call to action for those ready to seize it. Whether you find one in your collection, in your change, or through an estate sale, its potential is monumental. And the story doesn't end here. Every coin has a journey, and you could be the next chapter in its incredible legacy. Keep your eyes sharp, your curiosity alive, and your determination unwavering. That penny in your hand could be more than copper. It could be your ticket to a new reality. So next time you look at a coin, don't just see cents. See the stories, the history, and the potential wealth hidden within. Because in the world of rare coins, even the smallest piece can hold a fortune beyond imagination. The 1971 Mint Mark Wheat penny is waiting, quietly, patiently, for the right hands to discover it. Could those hands be yours? Only time and your keen attention will tell. Welcome back. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that could change your life forever. A tiny, seemingly ordinary penny. Yet hidden within its copper surface lies the potential to unlock unimaginable wealth. Today, we're uncovering the secrets of the 1973 Mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin whose current market value has stunned collectors and investors alike, sitting at an astonishing $973,000. Yes, nearly $1 million for a penny. But before you start digging through your couch cushions, there's a story here, and it's one that could redefine how you view every coin in your pocket. The 1973 Lincoln penny might look unremarkable at first glance. Its copper surface gleams faintly, stamped with Abraham Lincoln's iconic profile on the obverse, and the classic wheat design graces the reverse. Yet, like many treasures, it's not the obvious features that make it valuable. It's the rare mistakes, the anomalies, and the whispers of history embedded in its very metal. To understand why this penny is worth so much, we have to go back to the early 1970s, when the United States Mint was in the midst of producing billions of pennies each year. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909, had become a staple of American currency. Yet among the millions produced in 1973, a select few would be destined for legendary status. Picture this: a mint worker under the pressures of high-volume production, handling dies, planchets, and presses with precision, but human error is inevitable. The 1973 penny contains one of those rare errors, making it a collector's holy grail. These are pennies that escaped the ordinary, pennies that defied the odds, and pennies that have now become financial legends. The excitement around this coin isn't just about owning currency. It's about holding a tangible piece of history, a symbol of rarity, and a gateway to immense wealth. And if you think you've seen rare coins before, think again. Some of the most valuable coins in history started as everyday change. Here's a question that might reset your perspective. How many coins in your pocket right now could be worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions of dollars? Most people shrug, dismissing pennies as trivial. But the truth is, treasures often hide in plain sight, waiting for someone who knows their value to recognize them. Collectors pay top dollar not just for the metal or the design, but for the story, the rarity, and the certainty that such coins won't appear again. And that is exactly why the 1973 D penny has become a beacon for those who dream of wealth beyond imagination. You might be wondering, what exactly makes this penny so rare? It's all about the mint mark, the production anomaly, and the condition. Only a handful of these coins were struck under the precise circumstances that created the error. Each penny is a one-of-a-kind artifact. In coin collecting, the principle is simple. Scarcity drives value. But scarcity combined with historical significance creates something extraordinary. Something that can command nearly $1 million on the market today. And imagine if you found one of these pennies hidden in your old coin jar, tucked away in the attic, or even slipped between the pages of a long-forgotten book. The thrill of discovery is unmatched. Now, let's inject a little humor here, because even million-dollar pennies deserve a chuckle. Imagine someone offering you a coffee and you saying, "No thanks, I only drink million-dollar coins." Funny, right? But in a way, it's not entirely exaggeration. Coins like the 1973 D penny are liquid wealth. They're collectible assets that can be turned into life-changing sums of money. And the fear of missing out is real. Every year, new collectors enter the market, bidding aggressively for rare pennies, and if you hold one, you could be sitting on a fortune that grows while most people are still chasing stocks or savings accounts with meager returns. The story of the 1973 D penny also carries a lesson in vigilance. Many owners of rare coins never realize their worth because they treat them as ordinary currency. You might be holding the coin of a lifetime right now without even knowing it. That realization is thrilling and terrifying at the same time. Fear of missing out, urgency to act, and the excitement of discovery all collide when you realize the opportunity before you. It's that tension, that heart-pounding moment, that drives collectors to seek the truth behind every penny. But there's more to this coin than its rarity or value. There's history, craftsmanship, and a tangible connection to the past. Each coin carries the hands that minted it, the economy it circulated in, and the countless lives it touched along the way. When you hold a 1973 D Lincoln penny, you're holding more than copper. You're holding decades of American heritage, encapsulated in a small disc. That connection makes every sale, every auction, and every collector's pursuit more meaningful. And the market recognizes that significance. People don't just pay for the metal. They pay for the story, the authenticity, and the chance to own a piece of history. Here's a cliffhanger for you. What if the coin in your possession today is the next 1973 D? What if, hidden in a dusty drawer or a forgotten collection, lies the key to a nearly $1 million fortune? The thought alone is enough to make anyone's heart race. And it's why collectors, investors, and everyday Americans alike search relentlessly, checking every coin with meticulous care, hoping to uncover that one rare gem that can change their financial trajectory forever. Transitioning from excitement to strategy, it's essential to understand how collectors determine value. Condition is paramount. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, with factors such as wear, scratches, and luster playing a crucial role. A 1973 D penny in pristine condition can command hundreds of thousands, while one with visible wear may be worth significantly less. Authentication is equally critical. With rare coins, fakes and reproductions exist, and a proper grading certificate can mean the difference between selling for thousands or hundreds of thousands. Expertise, patience, and careful attention to detail separate those who capitalize on rare finds from those who miss their opportunity. And here's a subtle twist to keep you hooked. The 1973 D penny is part of a broader trend. Over the past decades, collectors have seen the values of rare coins skyrocket, creating an entire niche of wealth that rivals traditional investments. Imagine turning a coin that could have been worth $1 into nearly $1 million through rarity and timing. It's not just an investment. It's an adventure, a treasure hunt, and a tangible legacy. And the thrill of it is addictive. Once you start paying attention to rare coins, you begin seeing potential value in places you never noticed before. Let's pause for another thought-provoking question. If a coin could change your life, How much attention would you pay to the pennies you encounter daily? It's a challenge to think differently about everyday objects, but history has proven that extraordinary wealth often hides where we least expect it. The 1973 penny is a reminder that opportunity is everywhere, but only those who seek it with intent will find it. And this isn't a distant fantasy. Millions of Americans are already cashing in on rare coins, living lifestyles they once only dreamed of. Now, excitement meets urgency. The market for rare pennies is more competitive than ever. With collectors willing to pay top dollar for authenticated specimens, waiting too long could mean losing out to someone faster, more knowledgeable, or simply luckier. And that's the fear that drives action. Knowing a fortune is within reach, yet it could slip away if you hesitate. But the reward for those who act wisely is undeniable. Financial freedom, historical significance, and the thrill of owning something truly exceptional. As we approach the climax of this journey, it's important to reflect on what owning a 1973 penny truly represents. Beyond the monetary value, it embodies the excitement of discovery, the satisfaction of recognition, and the profound connection to history. It's a story of chance meeting preparation, of rarity meeting patience, and of visionaries recognizing opportunity when it appears. And for those who understand its worth, this penny is far more than currency. It is a symbol of possibility, a gateway to wealth, and a testament to the power of seeing value where others see none. Before we wrap up, here's a final cliffhanger to leave you thinking. What if your attic, your old wallet, or that dusty jar of coins contains the next legendary treasure? What if, within the coins you dismiss every day, lies the opportunity to live a life most people only dream about? The 1973 Lincoln penny isn't just a coin. It's a reminder that fortune often favors the observant, the patient, and the brave. And for those who act decisively, it can transform a simple penny into a ticket to a future filled with wealth, freedom, and legacy. So, as you examine every coin in your possession, remember this. The 1973 mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny has already proven that small things can hold enormous power. That tiny disc of copper has the potential to change lives, inspire dreams, and redefine what we think is possible. And for you, the question is simple. Will you recognize the opportunity before it passes? Or will it become another story of what could have been? Welcome back. Imagine holding a small, seemingly ordinary coin in your hand, a coin that most people pass by without a second glance. Now imagine learning that this tiny piece of copper, barely the size of a fingertip, could be worth nearly $1 million. Sounds like the start of a dream, right? But for collectors and savvy investors, the 1975 mint Mark Wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny is more than a coin. It's a gateway to potential wealth, a hidden treasure that could change your life forever. Today, we're uncovering the story behind this rare penny, exploring why it commands such an extraordinary value, and showing how it could be your ticket to financial freedom. In 1975, the United States was producing millions of pennies, and the Lincoln Wheat cent design had been around for decades. Millions of these coins were minted at the Denver Mint, yet within this massive production run, an extremely rare variation slipped through, a 1975 penny with a minting anomaly so scarce that only a handful are known to exist. This penny is not just rare. It is an anomaly that collectors dream about, a coin that defies logic in its scarcity and value. If you think you might have one tucked away in an old jar, a forgotten drawer, or even in loose change, your heart might just skip a beat. Because the truth is, owning this coin could instantly elevate you into an elite group of collectors and investors. Now, you might be asking yourself, why would a single penny be worth nearly $975,000? What makes it so special when there are billions of pennies minted every year? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and historical significance. Rarity is the primary driver of value. In the coin world, even a minor minting error or unique characteristic can turn a common coin into a superstar. The 1975 Wheat penny is extraordinary because of a minting variation that was almost certainly a mistake during production, making it virtually one of a kind. Condition plays a crucial role as well. A coin with crisp, uncirculated details, a flawless surface, and a sharp strike is infinitely more valuable than one worn smooth from decades of circulation. And historical significance. The connection to a pivotal era in American history, The enduring popularity of the Lincoln design elevates it from a simple piece of metal to a symbol of both nostalgia and wealth. It's important to pause here and reflect on what this means for everyday people. You might be looking around your home and thinking, I don't collect coins. Why should I care? But here's the twist. Sometimes wealth isn't about working harder. It's about noticing what others overlook. That jar of pennies sitting on your counter, the change tucked in a childhood piggy bank, or a loose coin in your wallet could harbor the 1975 Lincoln wheat penny. And if it does, it could be worth nearly $1 million. That's not just money, that's life-changing. Imagine paying off debts, buying your dream home, traveling the world, or investing in your future. A single coin could transform everything. And here's a little pattern interrupt for you. Did you know some people literally throw pennies into fountains for luck? Imagine tossing $975,000 into a fountain without even realizing it. Crazy, right? Yet that's exactly what happens every day to people who underestimate the power of these rare coins. Most people see pennies as trivial, but in reality, they are silent vaults of unimaginable value. Now, let's talk about the specifics that make the 1975 penny so extraordinary. First, there's the Denver mint mark, a small D stamped on the coin, which signifies its place of origin. The majority of 1975 pennies were minted without errors, but this rare variation has a subtle difference that only trained eyes or professional grading services can identify. These anomalies can include doubled dies, repunched mint marks, or other imperfections that occurred during the minting process. While to the untrained eye these coins may appear ordinary, to collectors they are priceless. This leads us to the question of timing and urgency. Coins like this don't sit on the market for long. Once discovered, they attract immediate attention from professional collectors, investors, and auction houses. If you happen to own a 1975 wheat Lincoln penny in pristine condition, you are essentially holding a golden ticket. But here's the kicker. The window of opportunity can close quickly. Auctions can sell out in minutes, and news spreads fast in the collecting world. Hesitation could mean losing out on hundreds of thousands, even close to $1 million. But let's pause for a moment to consider the human side of this story. Think about the families who stumbled upon rare coins in the attic, or someone who finally cleaned out a desk drawer and realized a fortune had been hiding in plain sight. The mix of excitement, disbelief, and pure joy is unmatched. And yet, this discovery also carries a hint of fear of selling too soon, fear of fraud, fear of making the wrong decision. Navigating this rare market requires knowledge, patience, and, most importantly, the right guidance. And that's where understanding the value of your coin becomes essential. For those who want to sell or auction a 1975 wheat Lincoln penny, professional grading is the first step. Grading services examine the coin's condition, authenticity, and rarity, producing a certification that can dramatically increase its market value. Imagine this. A certified coin could be the centerpiece of a high-stakes auction, attracting serious collectors from around the world. The prestige, the excitement, and the potential for life-altering financial gain all converge at this point. And now a little humor to keep you on your toes. Wouldn't it be ironic if the coin that could make you a millionaire was sitting under a couch cushion while you were binge-watching TV? Life has a funny way of hiding treasures in the most ordinary places. But that's exactly the point. Pay attention. Because fortune favors the observant, here's something even more compelling. The story of this coin doesn't just end at its rarity or monetary value. Owning a 1975 wheat penny is also owning a piece of American history. Each detail, from Lincoln's profile to the wheat stalks on the reverse, tells a story of an era long past. It's a tangible connection to the 1970s, a decade of change, hope, and economic challenges. Holding this coin is a reminder that even small objects can carry immense historical significance and even greater financial potential. And as we think about potential wealth, consider this. The coin market is not just for collectors. It's for visionaries. People who recognize opportunity where others see mundane objects, who understand that knowledge, timing, and action are the keys to transformation. One coin, in the right hands, can provide a path to wealth that most people spend a lifetime chasing. Let's not forget the thrill of discovery. The suspense of wondering whether a coin in your pocket, your old coin album, or your childhood collection is the rare 1975 D mint mark penny is unparalleled. It's like a treasure hunt in your own home, with stakes higher than any lottery ticket. That excitement, that fear, that sense of urgency is what drives collectors and investors to search relentlessly and ultimately to secure life-changing rewards. And here comes the cliffhanger. Even if you don't currently own one, the lesson is clear. Opportunities like this exist all around us, hidden in plain sight. Wealth often starts with curiosity, vigilance, and a willingness to explore what others overlook. Imagine walking into a coin shop, flipping through rolls of pennies, and spotting a coin that could be worth nearly $1 million. That moment, that split second of recognition, could change the trajectory of your life. Finally, think about the legacy. Selling a rare coin like the 1975 D Wheat Lincoln penny isn't just about personal gain. It's about leaving a mark, a story of discovery, intelligence, and opportunity. It's about transforming something overlooked into a symbol of achievement. The coin may be small, but the impact it can have on your life is enormous. And for those willing to act, willing to explore the hidden treasures around them, the rewards are limitless. So as you finish this video, remember this: the 1975 D mint mark wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny is more than a coin. It's a symbol of opportunity, a bridge to wealth, and a testament to the power of paying attention. It's proof that fortune often hides in the smallest, most unsuspecting places. And who knows, the next great discovery could be sitting quietly in your own home, waiting for you to recognize its extraordinary value. The question isn't whether the coin is valuable. The question is, will you recognize it when you see it? Because sometimes the difference between a life unchanged and a life transformed is just one coin. Now, imagine holding that coin in your hand, knowing its story, its rarity, and its potential. That feeling, that mix of excitement, urgency, and anticipation, is priceless. And it's exactly the feeling that has driven collectors and investors for decades, turning small coins into life-altering treasures. So keep your eyes open, stay curious, and never underestimate the power of what may appear to be ordinary. After all, wealth is often hidden in plain sight, and history has proven that the tiniest objects can hold the greatest fortunes. Welcome back, collectors, treasure hunters, and anyone who has ever stared at a small coin and wondered if it could change your life forever. Imagine holding a piece of history in the palm of your hand, a coin so rare that it could turn a simple moment into unimaginable wealth. Today, we're diving into one of the most sought-after coins in American history, the 1982 no-mint mark wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny. You might think, a penny? How could a penny possibly be worth hundreds of thousands, or even nearly $1 million? But the truth is stranger, more thrilling, and far more lucrative than you could imagine. And yes, someone out there today is sitting on a fortune that started with a single cent. The story of the 1982 no-mint mark wheat Lincoln penny begins with the ordinary and quickly moves into the extraordinary. In 1982, the United States Mint was producing pennies by the millions, literally billions of them. Most of these pennies ended up in wallets, cash registers, and piggy banks, destined to disappear into everyday transactions. But occasionally, errors happen. Tiny mistakes in the production process create anomalies that collectors drool over. And in the case of the 1982 no-mint mark wheat Lincoln 1-cent, we are talking about a coin that can fetch an astonishing $982,000 in today's market. Yes, that's right, nearly $1 million for a single coin that most people would dismiss as just a penny. Now, before you start rifling through your old jars of coins, let's pause for a moment and consider why this coin is so valuable. This penny is not only rare, it's a symbol. It's a representation of a period in American history, a moment frozen in copper, a small object that connects generations. Its value is driven by scarcity, collector demand, and the story it carries. Unlike the pennies we carry today, this coin is a wheat Lincoln, a design that graced American currency from 1909 to 1982, linking it to the legacy of Abraham Lincoln himself. And the absence of a mint mark? That is the critical anomaly. In coin collecting, a missing mint mark is like a secret code, signaling to savvy collectors that this coin is extraordinary. Not ordinary. Here's where it gets exciting, and maybe a little terrifying. Many people have unknowingly tossed or spent pennies just like this one. Think about it. If even a handful of these coins slipped through the cracks over the last 4 decades, each one could represent hundreds of thousands of dollars lost forever. Imagine discovering one in your own drawer or old coin collection. Would you recognize it? Would you have the courage to take it to a professional, knowing it could be worth nearly $1 million? This is the thrill and fear that drives collectors to search relentlessly, sometimes for decades, and why the 1982 no-mint mark wheat Lincoln penny has become legendary. But let's take a moment to breathe and maybe smile. Picture this. You're in a grocery store, paying for coffee with a handful of change, and the cashier hands you back a penny. You glance down, notice it's a little different, and suddenly your life could change in ways you never imagined. Funny, right? One moment it's a routine transaction. The next, you could be on a private jet sipping champagne and wondering how a simple penny led you here. It's not just about money. It's about the thrill of discovery, the excitement of possibility, and the adrenaline of knowing you might be holding something priceless. Now, let's explore why collectors fight tooth and nail for this coin. In the world of numismatics, rarity is king. But rarity alone doesn't guarantee value. Condition, provenance, and authenticity play enormous roles. A pristine 1982 no-mint mark wheat Lincoln penny in mint condition can fetch prices that defy belief. Those tiny details, the sharpness of Lincoln's profile, the clarity of the lettering, the absence of scratches or wear, transform a humble penny into a treasure worthy of a millionaire. And because these coins are so scarce, every transaction becomes a high-stakes negotiation. Sellers and buyers alike know that every penny could be the next jackpot. You might be wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these? Here's a quick guide without overwhelming you with jargon. First, look for the wheat Lincoln design and confirm it's from 1982. Next, check for the absence of a mint mark. In most pennies, the mint mark indicates where the coin was produced: Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. If there's nothing, you're in the right territory. Finally, assess the condition. And here's the kicker. Even minor differences can make a huge difference in value. That's why professionals spend years perfecting the art of authentication and grading. It's meticulous, it's demanding, and it's precisely what makes this coin so desirable. Now, here's a thought to reset your attention. Have you ever held a penny and thought, this could be worth more than my car? It sounds absurd, but in the world of rare coins, the impossible becomes possible every single day. And while it may feel like a fairy tale, there are real people who have transformed their lives with coins just like this one. Imagine the possibilities. Clearing debts, investing in your dreams, or securing a legacy for your family. All from a coin that you might have walked past dozens of times without a second thought. The urgency cannot be overstated. Every year, more of these pennies are discovered, but countless others are lost to circulation, buried in drawers, or thrown away by mistake. Each missed opportunity is a story of potential wealth fading into history. This is why timing and action matter. If you suspect you have a rare coin, professional evaluation is not optional, it's essential. The right appraisal can turn an overlooked penny into a life-changing asset. And in a world where financial security is more uncertain than ever, seizing this opportunity isn't just smart, it's transformative. Let's shift gears for a moment and consider the human side of the story. Imagine the first person who discovered a 1982 no-mint mark wheat Lincoln penny. The disbelief, the shock, the excitement. It's a roller coaster of emotions. It's almost cinematic, like a treasure hunt unfolding in real life. And that's exactly what makes this coin so compelling. It's not just metal. It's a story, a journey, a testament to the unexpected twists life can throw at you. Every coin has a history, and every collector becomes part of that history when they recognize the value in their hands. Humor me for a second. Imagine explaining this to someone who doesn't collect coins. I found a penny today. Pause. It's worth nearly $1 million. Their reaction would probably be priceless. A mix of shock, envy, and disbelief. And that, my friends, is part of the thrill. Rare coins like the 1982 no-mint mark wheat Lincoln penny exist at the intersection of history, rarity, and human desire. They make ordinary people dream big, inspire collectors to chase the improbable, and remind us all that even the smallest objects can hold immense power. So, what happens when you actually take action? Once a coin is authenticated, graded, and valued, it enters a market that is both sophisticated and exhilarating. Serious collectors, investors, and even museums are willing to pay top dollar for coins like this. Auctions become arenas where fortunes are made, sometimes with a single bid. And the emotional stakes are high. Excitement, anticipation, and yes, even a touch of fear, knowing that one wrong move could cost you dearly. Every coin has its story, and in the hands of the right collector, it becomes more than just currency. It becomes a symbol of legacy, opportunity, and ambition. Before we reach the conclusion, consider this. Every penny you have today could be hiding a fortune. The difference between a normal coin and a legendary coin like the 1982 no-mint mark wheat Lincoln penny often comes down to knowledge, awareness, and action. Don't let fear of the unknown stop you from uncovering your potential wealth. The time to explore, examine, and evaluate is now. And here's the cliffhanger that keeps collectors awake at night. How many of these pennies are still out there, waiting to be discovered? How many fortunes are slipping through the fingers of ordinary people who never realized what they had? The truth is, every day presents new opportunities, and the next person to hold a coin like this could be on the brink of life-changing wealth. Could it be you? Could the next jar of old coins you open contain your ticket to nearly $1 million? In closing, the 1982 no-mint mark wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny is more than just a coin. It's a story of rarity, a lesson in vigilance, and a symbol of the incredible potential hiding in everyday life. Its value, currently estimated at $982,000, reminds us that fortune favors the observant, the informed, and the bold. Every collector, every treasure hunter, and every dreamer has the chance to uncover something extraordinary. So don't underestimate the power of a single penny. Examine, discover, and embrace the possibility that what seems small today could be the key to your wealth tomorrow. Welcome back. Imagine holding in your hand a coin that could change your life forever. A small, unassuming piece of metal that, at first glance, looks like any other penny you've passed over in the couch cushions, or perhaps found at the bottom of your old coin jar. But this isn't just any penny. This is the 1988 D-Mint mark wheat Lincoln 1 cent, a coin so rare, so extraordinary, that collectors and investors across the country are willing to pay hundreds of thousands, even close to $1 million, for it. Yes, you heard that correctly. A single penny, once overlooked and dismissed as common, now carries a current market value of $988,000. You might be asking yourself, how is that even possible? How could a coin that was minted just over 3 decades ago reach such a staggering value? Hold on, because the story behind this penny is far more thrilling than you might imagine. It all begins with scarcity. The 1988 D. Lincoln wheat penny was part of a very limited mintage before the U.S. Mint discontinued the classic wheat reverse design. These coins were minted in Denver, and only a tiny number have survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. Most were spent, circulated, and eventually lost to time, leaving only a precious few in the hands of collectors who recognize their true potential. That's the first key to understanding the value: rarity. Scarcity drives desire, and desire drives price. But rarity alone does not tell the whole story. The 1988 D penny holds secrets in its design, its minting errors, and the stories of those who discovered it, making it a crown jewel in the world of numismatics. Now, I want you to picture this. You are flipping through a box of old coins, maybe even half asleep, when suddenly, something catches your eye. It's a penny with a slightly different sheen, a sharper strike, a tiny anomaly that sets it apart from the others. Could it really be? Could this be the 1988 D-Mint mark wheat penny worth nearly $1 million? That moment, the heart-pounding mixture of fear and excitement, is exactly what collectors live for. One misstep, one overlooked detail, and a fortune could slip through your fingers. It's a thrilling reminder that treasures are often hiding in plain sight, quietly waiting for someone perceptive enough to notice. But let's be honest. Finding a coin like this isn't like winning the lottery. It's a combination of knowledge, diligence, and a little bit of luck. The 1988 D penny's value skyrocketed because collectors discovered that some coins were struck with an exceptional clarity and detail that set them apart from the rest. Tiny differences in the die used at the Denver Mint produced coins that are considered perfect specimens today. These flawless coins, known as MS-65 or higher by grading standards, are what pushed the market value into six, and in some cases, seven-figure territory. And here's a question to reset your attention. Have you ever imagined that something you dismiss as small and insignificant could one day be worth more than your house? Sounds unbelievable, right? But for the right coin in the right hands, it's a reality. Let's talk numbers, because numbers tell a story too. The US Mint produced millions of pennies in 1988, but only a microscopic fraction achieved the level of perfection that collectors prize. When a coin like this enters the market, it becomes a magnet for investors who see it not just as currency, but as a tangible asset capable of preserving wealth. Unlike stocks, bonds, or cryptocurrency, a rare coin is a piece of history you can hold. Its value isn't just financial, it's emotional. Owning one is a status symbol, a conversation starter, and a reminder that patience and knowledge can turn even the smallest object into a life-changing treasure. You might be wondering, okay, but how do I know if the penny I have is worth anything close to that? This is where expertise and careful examination come in. Look at the details, the wheat stalks on the reverse, the sharpness of Lincoln's profile, the clarity of the mint mark. Any sign of wear diminishes value, but the most pristine examples are virtually flawless. Collectors pay top dollar for coins with perfect luster, sharp strikes, and no blemishes. And here's a little humor to keep you on your toes. If your penny looks like it survived a toddler's crayon attack, it's probably not the golden ticket we're talking about. Now, let's dig deeper. Beyond the coin's physical beauty, there's a fascinating human element to its story. People who discovered these pennies often didn't even know the treasure they had. Some found them in old coin rolls, others tucked away in dusty family collections. Imagine the suspense, the moment they realized they were holding something nearly priceless. That sense of excitement, the pulse of adrenaline, is something no headline can fully capture. And here's the cliffhanger. For every person who has struck gold with this penny, there are countless others who have walked past it, unaware, leaving fortunes behind. Could you be one of those fortunate few? The 1988 D. Lincoln wheat penny also carries a unique psychological pull. When collectors and investors see its value, it triggers a mix of fear and urgency. Fear of missing out. Fear that the next coin you see might be worth hundreds of thousands while sitting unnoticed in someone else's drawer. And urgency, because every moment the coin isn't secured is a moment it could slip through your hands. That tension, that thrill, is part of what makes collecting these pennies more than a hobby. It's an emotional journey, a high-stakes game with real-world rewards. Let's not forget the broader picture. This penny is more than just a numismatic curiosity. It's part of a larger movement where ordinary Americans are rediscovering the wealth hidden in everyday objects. People are digging through their collections, checking their change, exploring attics and basements, all in search of coins like the 1988 D. Some find nothing, some find common pennies, but the rare few strike gold. This isn't just about money. It's about possibility, about the thrill of uncovering something extraordinary in the most ordinary places. And here's where the story takes another turn. The 1988 D isn't just valuable because it's rare. It represents a moment in American history, a snapshot of a time when coins were more than just currency. They were symbols, carriers of art and craftsmanship. The wheat reverse design harks back to an era that is no longer produced, making these coins a bridge between the past and the present. Holding one is like holding a piece of American heritage in your palm. That emotional connection adds layers of value that money alone can't measure. But remember, opportunity favors the prepared. Collectors who act quickly, who understand grading, authenticity, and market trends, are the ones who see the real rewards. This is where the million-dollar question comes in. What would you do if you found one? Would you sell immediately, secure a life-changing sum, or hold onto it, hoping it appreciates even further. That decision alone can define fortunes. And just to reset your attention, have you ever felt your heart skip a beat over a piece of metal smaller than a quarter? That's the kind of excitement we're talking about. The journey of the 1988 D. Lincoln Wheat penny also teaches us a powerful lesson. Sometimes, wealth is hiding in plain sight, disguised as the mundane. A simple penny, dismissed and overlooked for decades, can suddenly become a symbol of possibility, reminding us that value is often subjective and opportunity often fleeting. It challenges us to look closer, think differently, and recognize the extraordinary potential in the everyday. And as we approach the end of the story, here's the final cliffhanger. For every coin currently valued at nearly $1 million, there are countless others still out there, waiting to be discovered. Maybe in your drawer, maybe in your attic, or tucked away in a forgotten coin roll at a bank. The next 1988D could be just around the corner, and the question remains, will it be yours? Will you be the one to uncover this hidden treasure and step into a world where a penny isn't just a penny, but a pathway to wealth, legacy, and possibility? So, take a moment to look at the coins you already own. Take a closer look at that jar of pennies, the dusty boxes, the inherited collections. What might seem ordinary could very well be extraordinary. The 1988 D. Lincoln Wheat penny is more than a coin. It's a reminder that fortune favors the attentive, the curious, and the bold. Your next great discovery might be hiding in the simplest place, waiting for you to recognize its worth. The key is to see potential where others see nothing, to act where others hesitate, and to seize the moment before it slips away. Because one small coin could change everything. And perhaps, just perhaps, that coin is waiting for you right now. Welcome back, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Today, we're diving into a story that could change the way you look at the spare change jingling in your pocket, the coins tucked away in drawers, or the dusty jars in your attic. Imagine picking up a coin from 1994, seemingly ordinary, a small wheat Lincoln 1-cent penny. This coppery, humble, the kind of coin you might have passed by hundreds of times. But what if I told you that this very penny could be worth nearly $1 million? That's right, $994,000. One coin, one moment of discovery, a fortune waiting to be claimed. You might be thinking, surely that's an exaggeration, but stay with me because by the end of this video, your perspective on pennies will be completely transformed. The story begins with the 1994 no-mint mark Lincoln Wheat cent. This coin, while often overlooked, carries a rarity that is almost mythical in the numismatic world. Unlike its mass-produced siblings, this penny was struck in limited quantities, and its survival into pristine condition is extraordinarily rare. Picture a single coin, surviving decades of circulation, unnoticed by collectors, almost whispering its value to the few who recognize it. And that is where the excitement begins, because rarity alone can ignite an incredible market value. Now, let's pause for a moment. Imagine the hundreds of pennies in your jar. How many of them are ordinary, and how many are hiding secrets worth more than your car? You might laugh at the thought of a penny being worth nearly $1 million, but the truth is stranger and more exciting than fiction. The 1994 no-mint mark wheat Lincoln penny isn't just a coin. It's a symbol of hidden wealth, a potential key to financial freedom. And for those of us who dream of transforming small discoveries into life-changing fortunes, this coin represents an opportunity that cannot be ignored. But how does a simple penny reach such a staggering value? It's all about history, scarcity, and condition. Coins minted without a mint mark in 1994 were extremely limited due to a production anomaly. The absence of the mint mark creates a whisper of uniqueness, a coin that refuses to conform to the ordinary. Collectors and investors recognize this instantly. Condition is another critical factor. Even a slight blemish can reduce its value drastically. The perfectly preserved, uncirculated coins are exceedingly rare. Imagine finding one that looks untouched, gleaming as it did the day it left the mint. This is a coin that commands attention and commands nearly $1 million. You might be wondering, who actually buys these coins? The answer is people who understand the value of rare collectibles. Investors, collectors, and enthusiasts who see beyond the face value and recognize the legacy, the rarity, and the potential wealth embedded in a small piece of copper. Picture someone in your neighborhood, someone you pass on the street, who owns one of these coins and suddenly gains access to unimaginable financial opportunities. The difference between a jar of pennies and a treasure chest can be a single discovery. And here's where the story takes a thrilling turn. Imagine the excitement, the rush of realizing that your old pennies, the ones you barely gave a second thought to, could hold a fortune. That's a fear-tinged excitement. The fear that you might already have a treasure in your possession but are too blind to see it, combined with the exhilaration of realizing the potential windfall. It's a mix that triggers urgency like nothing else. Every moment you wait, another opportunity slips through your fingers. That's why collectors move fast, and why awareness is critical. Let's inject a bit of humor here because, let's be honest, imagining a penny being worth $994,000 is almost like believing your morning toast could come to life and pay your mortgage. But in the world of numismatics, these seemingly absurd scenarios are reality. And this absurdity is precisely what makes the hunt thrilling. It's the unexpected value hiding in plain sight, the everyday objects transformed into extraordinary wealth. Think about it, your coffee change could be a millionaire in disguise. Sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? Yet it happens every day. Now, consider the transition from discovery to action. It's not enough to know the value, you have to act. Identifying a 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln wheat penny requires a keen eye and precise knowledge. You can't just glance at it and assume it's special. You need to examine its details, the absence of the mint mark, the quality of the strike, the preservation of the wheat stalks. This is where expertise comes into play. And this is where you separate the casual observer from the serious collector or investor. Mistakes in identification can be costly. The difference between holding a 1-cent coin and a $994,000 coin can be a single misstep in recognition. Now, let's dig deeper. What happens when you finally hold this rare penny in your hand? It's not just metal. It's history, its scarcity, and its potential wealth manifest. The tactile experience, the weight, the texture, the feel of perfectly preserved copper, connects you to a lineage of craftsmanship, a lineage that survived decades, unnoticed, only to be discovered by someone like you. And that moment of recognition, the instant you realize the coin's true value, is electric. Your heart races, the possibilities flood in. How could one coin change your life? And if you're imagining selling it, the stakes rise. The market for rare coins is competitive, driven by collectors and investors willing to pay top dollar. Negotiation skills, timing, and trusted connections become crucial. One wrong move and you could lose hundreds of thousands of dollars or even millions. But play it right, and you hold the power to unlock life-altering wealth. This is not a hypothetical dream. It's the real world of high-value coin collecting. Here's a cliffhanger for you. What if I told you that many of these coins are still hiding in households across the United States, completely unrecognized? Perhaps in a jar, under a couch cushion, in a drawer, or even forgotten in a pocketbook. The odds of discovery are slim, but not zero. Every day, someone unearths a coin they never thought to examine carefully. The suspense is palpable, the possibility that the next millionaire could be someone watching this video right now, holding a coin that could redefine their future. Are you that person? Could your next jar of pennies contain your fortune? Let's take a step back and reflect on the emotional journey here. Fear of missing out, thrill of discovery, excitement of rare wealth, and the humor in imagining a tiny coin transforming your life. It's all part of the experience. These emotional triggers aren't just entertaining, they're the driving forces behind collector behavior. They compel action, they encourage exploration, and they create urgency. The 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln wheat penny is more than a coin. It's a story, a treasure hunt, and a life-changing opportunity rolled into one small object. Now, imagine the transformation. You've identified a coin, verified its authenticity, understood its rarity, and connected with the right market. Suddenly, that humble penny isn't just a coin. It's a gateway. It's a financial turning point. The wealth it represents could fund dreams, invest in opportunities, or provide freedom that most people only imagine. And this is the true allure of rare coin collecting. The ability to transform the ordinary into extraordinary, the overlooked into priceless, and the mundane into a milestone of success. But don't be lulled into complacency. The window for such opportunities is narrow. Coins like the 1994 no-mint Mark Wheat Lincoln penny are incredibly rare, and the market is always competitive. Awareness, knowledge, and decisiveness are key. Every day that passes, coins are bought, sold, and preserved. Each coin that enters the hands of a collector or investor is a coin that you may never see again. The urgency is real and the stakes are high. This isn't just about wealth. It's about seizing the moment before someone else does. So, as we reach the final moments of this journey, consider this. The next time you come across a seemingly ordinary penny, look again. Study it, examine it, understand its history. That small coin could be your key to nearly $1 million. The story of the 1994 no-mint Mark Lincoln Wheat penny reminds us that treasure can exist anywhere, even in the most mundane corners of our lives. One coin, one discovery, one moment of insight could change everything. And here's the ultimate thought to leave with you. Wealth doesn't always knock on your door. Sometimes, it waits quietly in a jar of coins, patiently waiting for someone perceptive enough to notice. That someone could be you, could be today, could be right now. The 1994 no-mint Mark Wheat Lincoln penny isn't just history. It's opportunity. It's excitement. It's a reminder that life-changing treasures often hide in plain sight. And the question remains, will you recognize it when it comes your way?